around 2006, after the pre-shipment inspection period has elapsed for the period of 7 years, between 1999 and 2006. So destination inspection means that all goods that is required or goods that are imported into Nigeria that required physical inspection, that the goods will be imported into Nigeria to go into the normal physical inspection. So it was started in 2006 during this period of the service providers. So let's forge ahead. In pursuit of the government decision to seamlessly transfer destination scheme for import from scanning service provider to Nigeria Customs Service with effect from 1st December 2013. You know, before the PAR regime, we have the RA, which is issued by the service providers. From 2006 to 2013 under the DI. But before the DI, they were doing the PSI, the pre-shipment inspection. So, and government desire to ease environment for doing business effective from 1st January 2018. Following guidelines, procedures, and documentation requirements shall apply in respect to import transaction with effect from that date. In 2013, there was import guideline and procedures issued by the Federal Ministry of Finance. Then in 2017, sorry, it was revised, then taking effect from 1st January 2018. Then on the import guidelines, the first item or the first number on that import guideline said any prospective importer of goods into Nigeria must first of all process from M through his authorized dealer bank. That's the bank that they are dealing with, irrespective of the value and whether or not payment is involved. Whether you make a payment to the supplier or not, as far as you are going to import, you have to open from M through your ADB. That's the first number on the import guidelines, the revised edition 2017. Then the Form M is valid for 360 days, 12 months for all imports. For all imports, that's for general imports, except plant and machineries, with a validity period of 720 days, which is 2 years. General goods is 1 year, subject to revalidation for another 6 months and 6 months, that's 2 years. But for plants and machinery, it's 720 days, subject to revalidation again for 2 times. Revalidation from M is applicable through the Director, Trade and Exchange Department, Central Bank. ADB, Authorized Dealer Bank, cannot revalidate your Form M. The Form M for the importers have to be revalidated through an application, by an application through the Director, Central Bank. Are we together, please? Hello?
We are with you.
Okay. Then, a relevant document in support of import must be marked valid for Forex or not valid for Forex. That's for the Form M. Any importer that's opening a Form M, it must be either valid for Forex or not valid for Forex, according to the nature of the transaction, whether or not foreign exchange remittance will be involved. Valid for Forex, that means maybe the importer may first sell his funds through the bank or through the central bank. Or not valid for Forex, that means he will source his funds to to fund his transaction, maybe somewhere through the value the change or any means of forex. Then all application of goods subject to destination inspection shall carry BA code. In all the Form M's, if the Form M is for importation under the destination inspection, it must carry a BA code. But if it is not under destination inspection, it must carry the CB code in the prefix of the numbering system on the E-Form M. We have all goods that is coming to Nigeria, about 90%, they are under destination inspection, that they must carry BA code. There are just some few goods that are not under the destination inspection, which are maybe petroleum products, the kerosene, the aviation fuel, the gas, that's the diesel, the LNG, the fuel, used motor vehicles, all goods that are under Schedule 2 of the CET, presidential goods, diplomatic goods, all those goods, they are the ones that will have CB on their Form M. So once they open the Form M with CB, that means they did not need any RA or PA. All they do for the forex is just to get their forex with the Form M, and so that the central bank or the National Bureau for Statistics can keep record of the money that has been spent or has been taken out of the country. So for anyone that will BA, it must come through the PA process. They must process PA for it, and then they should go through the normal importation process. Then let's look at the documentation required. All imports into the country shall accompany by the following documents: keep clean on-board bill of lading, airway bill, roadway bill, or railway bill. That's the transportation documents. All importation that should carry that one. Then we have the certificate of origin, C of O. Certificate of origin is issued by either the export country or Chamber of Commerce or the Trade and Investment. They are the one that issue certificate of origin for that goods to make sure that the value and the origin of the goods is from that particular country. Then we have the commercial invoice, that's the receipt of the goods. Then we have the packing list, how the goods have been packed into the container or into the packages. Then we have the manufacturer certificate of production, the phytosanitary certificate or chemical analysis report where necessary. All those documents accompany the goods. They are the first set of documents that should be presented when issuing under the guidelines, import guidelines. Then the laboratory test certificate for chemicals, food, beverage, pharmaceutical, electrical appliances, and other regulatory products where applicable. Sorry, my system is. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Then, now after the detailing the documentation, then we have the proper description of the import into Nigeria must be stated on the E-Form M and the pro forma invoice for price verification, which include the following. That is under the previous document that we have seen on slide number 7. Then we have how it should be properly indicated on those documents. Number 1, detail specific product name, product type, category of products. That is either on the bill of lading, either on the commercial invoice, the CCVO, or the packing list. Then the mark and brand name of the product where applicable. If they are importing like a television, they must state the type of the television, how many inches is it, what is the brand, what's the model of the television. So all of these parameters, all of these things must be stated. model name and model name or reference number where applicable, description of the quality, grade, specification, capacity and size, quantity and packaging or packing and unit of measurement, all should be indicated on those documentation that we have seen on slide number 7. Then we have the individual unit price and item FOB must be stated. An invoice or a CCVO must not carry a vague unit price. Or maybe they will say they are bringing a container of TV. They will say the price of all the container is $10,000. No. What in the documentation said that they must state the unit price of that product. How many are there in the container? How many TV? 500 units, and how each unit is how was the FOB price? So, where import items such as food, drinks, cosmetic, drugs, medical devices, chemicals, etc. are required for health or environmental reason, they shall carry expiry date or the shelf life, minimum of half shelf life at the time of importation, and specify the active ingredients where applicable. In the case of drugs and perishable items, foods, medical devices, chemicals, they must have an expiry date so that they will not bring expired goods into the country. And what does the guideline say? Minimum half shelf life at the time of importation. Half shelf life. So maybe if it's going to expire in the next 6 months, it should not come into Nigeria. So drugs, chemicals, if they are going to expire in 6 months, it will not be allowed to come into the country. The electrical appliances, fluorescent lamps, electrical bulbs, electric irons, and etc. shall carry information on live performance, while cable shall carry information on the ratings. So all this information will help when you are inspecting or examining goods into the, because all these things are supposed to be carried on their labels or on the goods or on the on their documentations, on the commercial invoice, on the CCVO, on the bill of ladings. According to the guidelines, all this information should be stated on those documents. Upon receipt of the E-Form M with other necessary pre-importation documents, NCS shall. So we have now finished with the documentation process of the import guidelines. Now we are going to look into the responsibility of the stakeholders in the import chain. So we are going to start with the responsibility of the NCS. So the NCS, we know we are the one that processed Form M, registered Form M at the initial stage at the paroling center, because once the importer intends to import his goods, he will apply for the Form M using his pro forma invoice and insurance certificate or other regulatory certificate. Once his Form M has been issued, he can now start his importation. He can now provide his final documents to process his PA. So the first responsibility of the NCS is carry out preliminary review of the application using information provided therein and accept or reject the Form M within 1 working day. So this is one of the roles in paroling center. Once the bank have uploaded the Form M, the paroling center will look at it and whether they should accept it or reject. If everything is okay, they can accept it. If accepted, NCS shall register the E-Form M on the system. However, if the Form M is rejected, NCS shall state reason for rejection, and the documents are automatically returned to the necessary rectification. If accepted, then an email will be sent to the importer. You can now go ahead and process your final documents for PA. If it is rejected, then the reason for the rejection will be stated, and then the importer can make necessary correction on his documentation and then resend it through the bank again. After registration of the E-Form M and the receipt of the final documents from the ADB, NCA shall generate pre-arrival assessment response in 6 hours. So responsibility of the NCS continues. The E-Form M shall be valid for importation only after registration by the Nigeria Customs Service. E-Form M, once if the bank sends the Form M for registration, if the Form M is not registered by the Nigerian Customs Service, the bank cannot and they have no power to tell the importer to process or to proceed with his importation. So, authorized dealer bank are to confirm registration of the E-Form M before proceeding with other import processes. All goods to be imported into the country shall be labeled in English, in addition to any other language of transaction. Otherwise, the goods shall be confiscated. Nigeria, the official language of Nigeria is English. So every good, if you see it with a Chinese language, or on the document it's with the Chinese language or any foreign language, what the import guidelines say that the goods shall be confiscated. Final document in respect of each import transaction shall carry the name of the product, country of origin, specification, date of manufacture, batch or lot number, standard to which the goods have been produced. That's the NIS, British Standard, ISO, IES, DIN, etc. So the document shall carry all these parameters. Importation of product not properly labeled shall automatically qualify for seizure and destruction without warning and subject to prosecution. So if at the stage of examination, any product that has not been labeled, maybe they are bringing chemical, and those chemicals require end user, but they did not label whether this chemical is TDI or caustic soda. They just label like that on the packaging. So what the guidelines say that good shall be seized and destroyed, and it should be destroyed without any warning. Any false or fraudulent representation of facts will result in impoundment or seizure. So any false declaration, that's what the importer again. Any false or misrepresentation of fact will result to impoundment or seizures. So we are finished with the responsibility of the custom on the pre-arrival stage. Then let us look at the responsibility of the importer. It shall be the duty of the importer to ensure that the supplier makes available the pro forma invoice in accordance with the import procedure of the country. As a result, there must be no ambiguity in the description of the goods. The importer should contact his supplier and make available the pro forma invoice. That's the initial stage. That's the before pre-importation stage. Even before he buy the goods, the pro forma is like a quotation. If is the pro forma invoice that it will be used to fill his Form M by the bank, then submit it to the custom for the Form M registration. Because the information on his pro forma invoice is the one that will be reflected on the Form M. All the information on the pro forma invoice is the one that will be included or will be filled on the Form M. It's the one that they will send to the PAR ruling center, then the PAR will register the Form M. The importer shall also ensure that all documents to be forwarded to the ADB are genuine and verifiable. It should not take any fake documentation or fake documents to the ADB. The importer shall ensure that final documents are forwarded to the ADB by supplier before the arrival of goods consignment to facilitate quick clearance. What the importer guidelines say that after registration of Form M, immediately the importer should get his final document from the supplier, the bill of lading, the CCV or the packing list, the regulatory certificates, then forward it to the NCS so that they can issue his PAR, and the PAR should be ready before he starts his shipment or when the shipment comes, so that it will not delay his shipment, his clearance. But now you can see, like 80% of goods now in Nigeria is only when the ship has arrived, they position for examination before they go and do their Form M, their part, which is not what the import guidelines said. Then number 4, all the requirements listed under the import procedure must be complied with before documents are submitted to the ADB. So number 5, upon registration of the Form M by NCS, the importer shall advise the supplier to arrange for the shipment of the goods. Once the Form M has been registered by NCS, the importer shall advise the supplier to arrange for the shipment of the goods. That's the NCS has given them the guideline, they go ahead. You can now start importing. That this good is not contraband, that this good is allowed to come into Nigeria. Yes, with your regulatory certificate, all the regulatory agencies have okayed your goods, that you can start importing them. Then this is the responsibility of the supplier, with either the manufacturer, the producer, the exporter, or the supplier. It's all the same. Then the overseas supplier shall make available 2 sets of original C of O, transport documents, and packing list to his or her bank. Then on receipt of the document listed in one above, the supplier's bank shall forward them through the relevant corresponding bank to Nigeria Authorized Dealer Bank and letter banks for letter of credit transaction. That is between the supplier bank and then the importer's bank in the case of letter of credit. Then for transaction not valid for forex exchange, 2 sets of original documents shall be forwarded by the supplier directly to the bank that validates the Form M. That's for non-valid for forex. That's if the importer wants to get his forex somewhere, then the supplier will the one that will send 2 sets of documents to the bank, to the importer's bank. Then responsibility of the authorized dealer bank, that's our commercial banks in Nigeria. 1, upon receipt of the document listed in E above, ADB shall endorse and upload them to PAR system for issuance of PAR. That's the final documents. Is a bill of lading, CCVO, packing list, and the rest. Then for remittance in respect of imports, for remittance, only the amount on the CCVO commercial invoice finally shall be remitted. That's if they are going to remit the amount to the supplier, maybe for the letter of credit, only the amount on that final documents, that either the CCVO or the final invoice, shall be remitted to the supplier. Carry out proper know your customer and be satisfied that the relevant document forwarded are genuine. Carry out the know your customer, that the ADB should know his client, that's the importer. So that whatever happens is the surety. Whatever happens between him and the supplier, or between the importer and the customs in terms of duty payment, is the bank that will be held responsible. Then the ADB are to ensure that shipping documents are received within 21 days after shipment and should retain evidence for the purpose of monitoring by CBN. Hello? Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Should we forge ahead all the excursion?
No, I think we can wait till the end of the lecture so that questions will. But all the participants can start writing maybe their question in the group. So some will be allowed to be unmuted so that they can ask the question direct. Thank you.
So then we have the responsibility of the carrier, which is either the aircraft or the shipping companies. It shall be the responsibility of the shipping lines and other carriers to ensure that all goods being consigned for shipment to Nigeria are covered by appropriate E-Form M. What it's saying is that the goods and the bill of lading or airway bill or railway bill or way bill, the E-Form M number must be stated there. Because once the Form M has been registered, what is believed that shipment cannot start the supplier has no right to start giving the goods to the carrier until the form M has been registered to make sure that the goods has been approved by custom that the good can come into Nigeria. Then that's when the importer can now send the form M number to the supplier, and the supplier will give it to the carrier so that they can state it on their bill of ladings. Because if you open a bill of lading, any bill of lading, you're supposed to see a form M number, the PA number and the application number, that's the MF. So there's the supplier that will give the carrier that number, or the importer shall give the carrier in either case, so that they can state it on the bill of lading, airway bill, or railway bill, or way bill, anyone as the case may be. They should state it there. Then number two, if E form M number must be reflected on the bill of lading, airway bill, and railway for such goods. Number three, an advanced summary of the manifest of the cargo must be made available to the NCS electronically immediately the vessel depart the last port of call. That is, they have to manifest they have to transmit the manifested cargo of all the goods that are coming to the country from the last port of call. If they are coming directly from China to Nigeria, once they leave China, they are not going to stop anywhere. Once they leave China, they are going to transmit the cargo list. Or maybe if they are transiting through another port, maybe through South Africa, then once they leave South Africa, they're supposed to, once they are coming to Nigeria, they should transmit the cargo meant for Nigeria into the NICES database. Then this is the procedure in glance, how it is done in the power ruling center. So you can see how the arrow goes from the customs to authorized dealer bank to the importer. This is how the importer feed the bank, then the bank feed the custom, then the custom do their processes. E form M accepted, whether it's accepted, yes, confirm acceptance of E form M, and then proceed for shipment. Or if it is no, then it will go back to E form to the bank. Then the bank will have to redo everything and then send it back. So this is how it works in the power ruling center. This is how the process between the importer, the ADB, and the customs. Then this is the procedure for power issuance between the custom, the ADB, the supplier, and the shipping lines. So you can see the shipping lines ensure all goods being consigned for shipment are covered by appropriate E form M number, and then make an advanced summary of the manifest of cargoes. Then the supplier make available set of the final documents. Then the ADB capture data and upload scanned copies of final documents to NCS PAR platform for issuance of PAR. Then custom generate PAR within 6 hours. Then it will go back, receive SMS, login, print the PAR for importer to lodge SGD. That's by the bank. That's how the process is in the power ruling center. Then the clearance procedure. All this has been setting, all this that we are looking at, it has been in the import guidelines. Then preparation for single good declaration. Declarant prepared SGD with information derived from relevant document, final invoice, bill of lading, airway bill, packing list, permit where necessary, insurance certificate, E form M, PAR, etc. So these are, when you are making declaration on the SGD, these are the documents required. Then the SGD is prepared using private public DTI and capture SGD information, assess the SGD, print the SGD and assessment notice. Then payment at the bank. The bank agent proceeds to the designated bank with the system generated assessment notice. Because after the assessment of the SGD, he will take the assessment notice. Then he will go to the bank, make his payment. The designated bank will match printed assessment notice with the electronically received assessment notice for the SGD. If the information tallies, the bank will receive payment and issue signed bank receipt. The bank then sends an e-confirmation message to NCS acknowledging receipt of payment and taxes in respect of the SGD. So at the custom control, the rules of the consignment will be subject to selectivity of the custom automatic risk management system after payment of duty. Then import duty payment. Importer shall continue to pay administrative charge of 1% of FOB value of all import based on exchange rate of the approved Form M. That's the 1% FOB. Then all import duties are assessed at the CIF value of the goods using the currency exchange rate on the approved Form M. Goods are cleared after payment of import duty and other charges to any designated bank with the serial number of the SGD indicated on the receipt. Then request for release. After payment of import duties and other charges at the bank, importer agent will request for custom release through DTI. NCS will release after scanning of physical examination, except for the fast track importers. After customs have cleared the consignment terminal operators, issue exit note to NCS. Then we also have the palletization of the containerized cargos. You know, in the revised import guideline 2017, the federal government then said that every cargo that's coming into the country must be palletized inside the container. But because you know how the country is, nobody wants to palletize. But the guidelines say that every importer must palletize so that they can stop all this concealment post declaration. So the palletization policy is also in this slide. It is relevant to clarify that all cargoes for which E-Form M has been established before January 1st, January 28 shall not be required to palletize. That is before the effective date of the guidelines, provided such cargo shall arrive Nigeria on or before 31st of March 2018. If the cargo does not arrive Nigeria on or before the above stipulated, it must be palletized except it is exempted from the palletization policy. However, loading without pallets of containerized cargo is now acceptable provided it conforms to the international standard of packing stock. The new circular. So also, let us look at the export procedure. Under the export procedure, we have two types of export: commercial export and non-commercial export. Commercial export consists of both oil, including its derivative, and non-oil dry cargo exported from Nigeria to other countries in bulk or commercial purpose. Non-commercial export are goods exported to other countries for the purpose other than trade. Commercial export involves the use of Nigerian export proceeds form for proceeds repatriation and is subject to inspection by the Export Pre-Shipment Inspection Agency, at the end of which an inspection certificate is issued. Now we have 4 inspection companies in Nigeria, which is now divided into the 4 geopolitical zones. We have the North, the South, the East, and US, I think, like 4 of them. We have the Gojopal, the Neroli, and the other 2, which I cannot remember them. Then we have the example of commercial exports. Goods include oil, crude oil, refined oil, natural gas oil. Then commercial example of non-commercial export, we have the personal effect. Ma?
I'm taking export tomorrow.
Okay, so fine. Let me leave it like that. Let me stop it. Let me stop at, because the other one has on the import guideline they talk about export too. So that's why. But since you have export, so let me leave it for you.
Yes.
So I've come to the end of it. So if there is any question.
Chief Superintendent of Customs Ademu Goni, on behalf of the group, we are expressing our sincere appreciation for the exceptional delivery of this lecture. And your presentation was incredibly well packaged, and it is evident that at least you have a good command of this area that only few officers were opportune to have worked in those places. So we are also asking that please you can share the PowerPoint presentation with the group.
No problem.
Subsequently, we will also share the video recording because we believe that it will assist in further understanding and reviewing of the valuable content you just presented. So once again, we thank you very much. So the floor will now be open for those who have any question to ask. You can write your question in the group. You can equally raise your hand so that we give you the mic to ask questions. But Chief Goni, please, if I may ask, when you were talking of who issued certificate of origin, I think during the last exam, a question like that was asked, that who issued certificate of origin. And I think during the course of your lecture, you mentioned in some countries, either the Chamber of Commerce or Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment.
Yes.
So my first question will be, in Nigeria, who is the issuing entity? Is it the Chamber of Commerce or Federal Ministry of Trade? Or does it involve, based on, because Nigeria is a member of ETLS and AFTA, does it have a specific issuer when it comes to a specific trade agreement? Thank you.
I think it's still in Nigeria. I think the CFO certificate of origin is still issued by the Chamber of Commerce, but I'm not 100% sure because I've not seen any document on export. The certificate of origin on export from Nigeria to other countries. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that. But what I'm seeing is import, and what I see from imports in India, is their Chamber of Commerce. In some European countries, we see their Ministry of Trade and Investment. So I'm talking about import. But in Nigerian situation, I cannot say whether it's Chamber of Commerce. I'm not 100% sure. I think just in the export seat, or maybe they can. Okay, you can go ahead. Hello?
Haji Amina, you can go ahead. I think you
yes,
want
sir.
to say.
Origin issue the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment in Nigeria.
Okay, but is it, for example, those exporting their concern? Okay, maybe we can leave that till tomorrow when you are discussing exports.
Yes, export, yes.
Yes. So if we have any further question, you can go ahead and raise your hand. I can unmute. Okay, Aliyu Adamu, allowed to speak. Aliyu Adamu, the mic is yours. Okay, another person can raise his hand. Maybe before the connection gets to him, he will be okay. Badaru, allowed. Okay. Badaru, if you or Ali Adamu, if you can. I think I noticed that there is lag.
I can see Osakwe, Nuruddin.
Okay, they are all raising their hands.
Yes.
Okay, I have unmuted Osakwe and Nuruddin. Please, if you can go ahead and ask your question. Okay, GIB. I have seen GIB and okay, Osakwe is live. You can have the mic, Osakwe.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, please, my question is just little on that. You were measuring something like BA and CB on the form N. Can we know the full meaning of that BA and CB that you are mentioning? Main mention of BA number and CA number and CD number, something like that. Can we know the difference? And secondly, again, what is the difference between manifest and bill of loading? Because you are saying that if it's coming straight from China, it could transmit. What are they transmitting? Is it the manifest or the bill of loading?
Difference between what?
Manifest and bill of loading.
Okay, manifest and bill of lading.
Yeah.
So you have asked two questions.
I think
the
question. He said yes. He said maybe he wants to know the full meaning of that BA and the CB on from M.
Okay, that is my question, sir.
Yeah, I understand your question. For the BA and CB, those codes were given by the bank. Actually, I don't know too, because that's what we see.
I think we can all try to find out if there is
because the BA I know BA is about bank application, something like that. Bank application number, because the BA is the BA number is the form M number. Then the MF is the application number.
Hello?
So, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello?
So the BA and the CB, seriously, I cannot say it. I don't know.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I have a question. No.
Hello? Let me finish answering this guy.
Hello?
Hello? SD.
I can hear you. I said I have a question.
Hello, I'm with you, Goni.
Okay. Okay. The difference between bill of lading and manifest.
Yes.
Bill of lading is a single document, transport document given to individual importers for supply. Then the manifest is a list of all cargoes on board a ship or an aircraft. Osako, are you together?
Yes. I think GIB want to ask his question.
Okay.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Yeah.
Hello?
Good evening, everybody.
Yes,
Okay.
good
Can you
evening.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Close to the starting of the class, I was out of machine because of bad network. I wanted to ask the initial validity period for an approved form M for capital goods and general goods.
Yeah, for capital good is 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Yeah, for general good
For
is 1
capital
year.
goods, 2 years.
Yes.
Okay. Is it not is there no extension to it?
There's extension 2 times.
Okay, for the one of capital goods, extra 2 years.
Yes, for general goods, extra 1 year.
Okay, why general extra 1 year?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank
No
you very
problem.
much.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I think Goni.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Mr. Goni, thank you for the well packaged. My question is, an importer make improper documentation.
Yes.
Now, according to this NCS Act 2023, what are the relevant laws that will, deal with such cases like that? Thank you very much.
But brother, we are not talking about the laws of NCS now. We are talking about the import guidelines.
I think Mr. Nuruddin Dasuki, we have
Yes, sir.
we have some other people that will talk on will talk at length on the new Custom Service Act. So
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
I think Chief Superintendent Ibrahim Abdullah, he want to shed some light on the BA and CB.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Mr. Ibrahim, you can go ahead. Okay, I noticed that he's maybe having challenges with unmuting the. Okay, Ibrahim, if you can just restart the app, maybe you. Okay, Badr, you can ask your question again.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
The question I wanted to ask, you said in case the importer has issue with his Form M, so if it is the Form M is rejected, is there any given time for him to make correction or return the Form M application?
No, he's the one that applied for it, so we don't have time frame for him. He can correct it anytime he wants. It may take like 2 days, 1 year, no time frame for him.
Okay.
Yes.
You.
Is there anybody with question again?
Everybody is quiet.
No question with that.
I think Oga Ibrahim should restart his app so that he can shed light on. Okay, okay, Miss Harry.
There's one Medugu, Umar.
Okay, Medugu can go ahead and ask question, please.
We have Masood too.
Okay, Masood is raising. Okay, let me unmute him. Okay, I've unmute Masood. Medugu 2. Okay. Okay, Ahmed Abdul Hamid. Doris.
Hello,
Okay,
can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, the presenter, for sharing this your wealth of knowledge with us. My questions is regarding the role of shipping lines. We made mention some guidelines relating to the shipping line having to attach
Masood.
Yes.
Masood, please can you just hold on a bit? Let's allow Ibrahim Abdullah to shed light on that CB and BA number.
No problem.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, I think I can connect now. I hope you are hearing me now.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. The BA and the CB is actually a bank numbering system assigned to every Form M by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The BA stands for all those Form M whose approval come from the commercial bank, the ADBs. And the CBD as a prefix means Central Bank of Nigeria. A lot of people, why I need to make this clarification is that a lot of people, you know, are used to knowing CB to mean contraband. But within the context of destination inspection, it means that those goods that are exempted from destination inspection get their approval from the Central Bank of Nigeria. I don't know if this is very clear, because what we have the normal nomenclature of CB is that it is consignments that are actually contraband. People interpret it to mean contraband, but within the context of destination inspection, it is not designed to mean contraband. It is actually supposed to be approvals that are given for items that are exempted from DI to be given by the Central Bank of Nigeria. For example, if you open Form M, there are lists of items. There is a whole comprehensive list of items that are exempted from destination, meaning that those items do not need to have PAR. Items that don't need to have PAR, there is a comprehensive list of those items. So those items get their approval from the Central Bank of Nigeria. And that is why you have the prefix numbering system as CB. It's just essentially for identification. Once you see any document before you and you see the Form M number carrying CB, you should know that this is one of those items that are exempted from this. And the CBD means Central Bank of Nigeria, because the approval for that Form M was given by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Let's go on. I will update. Then the person asking about the legal frameworks for this destination inspection. If you look at under customs control in the new SEMA, perhaps somebody is going to take us on the new NCS Act, but it is actually provided. It has been catered for to say that you have to have a PAR, which the guidelines is there, and the service is expected to always issue a guideline over. I mean, the board is expected to issue a guideline, over a period of time. So we'll continue to chip in.
So thank you, Chief Superintendent A.Y. Ibrahim. It is a clear and concise explanation. Thank you very much. So any further question or clarification, please?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, Masood.
Okay. My question is relating to the role of the shipping line. The presenter made mention of, for example, when certain products are not labeled, that there's already maybe a penalty placed on them. But for example, the shipping line, you made mention that they are supposed to attach the Form M number, to the bills, which they issue which they issue to these traders that are making importation. Is there any penalty attached to not doing so? Because if you said most of the bills you see, they don't have those Form M numbers and all of that. So is there any penalty in the import guidelines that's attached not for the shipping line not complying with that directives? Thank you.
There is no such penalty on it. But the import guidelines stated that on some of the documents, that once some of the information are missing, maybe the labels, the language, means of communication, all of those information, once they are not there, the guidelines say that the goods can be confiscated or seized. So, but on the issue of the carrier putting the number on the bill of lading, the Form M number on the bill of lading, I have not seen any penalty that attached to that one. Thank you.
Actually, we are not just implementing some of those things, but the bank is not even expected to go ahead if those documents do not carry the relevant Form M number. The bank is not even supposed to effect the payment. The documents are supposed to be rejected by PAR ruling center to say that this document is not carrying the MF number of the transaction. Every document and every MF number is unique to a particular consignment coming into this country. And as such, the document should identify the Form M because the guideline says whoever is importing any goods into Nigeria must in the first instance open a Form M. How do you know that that document is covered by a Form M? Is when there is a Form M number indicated on the document. If, for example, you are an enforcement officer, you are on the road, you collect a document, or you are in the examination, you collect a document. How are you sure that the import guideline has been followed, where it says that anybody importing any item into the Federal Republic of Nigeria must in the first instance open a Form M? The only way you can know is where there's a Form M written on the document that is given to you. So if those documents are not stated, if those reference numbers are not stated on the bill of lading or the shipping document, the power ruling center is actually expected to reject the transaction, saying that reference from every reference number is not on the final document. And until it is provided, sir?
I say even the bank, they're not supposed to collect it.
Even the bank is not supposed to validate. Even the bank is supposed to reject. So if it gets to us as custom, we are supposed to reject the document and send it back. I was going to mention the earlier one, the service. The issue about pre-arrival processing. If you check section 35 of the new NCS Act, you will see additional controls there. And under that additional control, section 35 is very clear. It says the service shall render pre-arrival processing, examine documents and data relating to goods in the course of commercial operation involving goods, in order to ascertain the accuracy of the particulars contained in the goods and the declaration and other documents, information, and data submitted to it. So there's actually a provision in section 25 that we can carry out pre-arrival assessments or pre-arrival process. Pre-arrival processing is just a kind of destination inspection where before the consignment arrives, you must have done the documentary formalities. You must have, check everything that needs to be checked. You must have examined the document and, with the eventual aim of carrying out the inspection at destination. So I was just going to mention that. Sorry.
Thank you, Ewa.
So I think in the absence of further question or comments, we will have to call it a night. So, and I want to reiterate the contributions of the lead discussant, Chief Superintendent of Customs, Adamu Goni, and that of Mr. Ibrahim Abdullahi and other colleagues. So honestly, I think the knowledge you have imparted has had a significant importance in even our professional career. So we wish those sitting for promotion exams well, we pray that each one of them in this group will get at least 60 and above. So that is our prayer and that is our wish. So at this point, I will be ending this night session. So we are meeting tomorrow. Tomorrow we are having export guidelines tomorrow. So each one, we will announce the time on the platform.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Adagoni.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.